on the topic of inflation there, I know I get a lot of emails about it from clients is, whether they should lock in their variable rate to fixed.
Mm-hmm.
It's always a conundrum of people whenever it's in the news constantly of rates increasing, what they should do, anything like that. Really, and I'll say my viewpoint, and, people could do their own research as well, but variable rate over the last 30 years has won out every single year except for two, where it was at a slight loss compared to fixed in comparison. Right now, you're getting variable rates at prime -1 or greater than that. Prime -1, prime -1.1, 1.15. There's over a 1% difference between the variable rates right now and fixed. So if you're in a variable rate at, let's say, prime -1, so you're paying 1.45% right now. The 5-year fix that you'd be converting to, or even 4-year fix, if you're 4 years remaining, with a variable rate mortgage, you could convert to a fixed rate at any point without any penalty. You cannot do it the other way. You can't convert from a fixed to a variable. Banks like you to lock into a fixed because they can hit you with huge penalties when you go on break, because the statistics are 66% of people in Canada don't make it to the end of their 5-year term, whether it's a breakdown of a relationship, it's selling a home, refinancing to pay down debt, or pull out equity to, do an addition, or to buy a truck, or, whatever it may be, pay for schooling for a kid, adding a HELOC. These things all contribute towards breaking your mortgage. And 2/3 of people in Canada do that within the first 5 years, or sell and walk away. Banks like you to be in a fix because you pay the greater of a 3-month interest or interest rate differential, or IRD penalty, which is how much time, looking at where your rate is, current rates on the market, how much time you have left in your mortgage, how much interest the bank is losing. And it's a convoluted calculation of the interest being lost. And they pass that back to you. On a variable rate mortgage, it's 3 months interest is the most you'll ever pay as a penalty. So the banks really do only typically market fixed rates because they want you in that, because they know they're not out for your best interest, they're out for their shareholders' best interest, and they want to lock you into that fixed rate to get the penalties. Converting from a fixed to a variable to a fixed, right now it's over a 1% difference between the variable and the fixed. Whenever the Bank of Canada has historically increased bank prime, it's at a quarter point at a time. They increase, they wait, a couple months, even a quarter, to see how the economy handles it before making another increase. Effectively you would need, right now, the spread between variable and fixed is an average of 1% to just, around 1.25, meaning you would need 4 to 5 increases by the Bank of Canada to equal what that fixed rate would be. And then you would need subsequent increases to then be at a supposed loss. Now, the entire time that you've been paying drastically less in rate, you've been saving on your monthly payments, you've been paying off that much more principal, and you've been saving on interest. There's always 3 components to your mortgage payment. Why would you go from 1.45 and make that conscious decision? I'm going to lock in at 2.79. Why would you almost double your rate voluntarily? You're increasing your payments dramatically, immediately. You're paying that much more in interest and that much less in principal. It's costing you thousands and thousands of dollars. At the end of that as well, you also have a huge penalty if you were to break. Your mortgage today, that balance is much larger than it's going to be whenever the rates, if prime goes up 4 times, it's going to be at a lesser rate. Your balance is going to be lesser in the future. So your interest being calculated is on a lesser balance as well. You never know what's going to happen with the economy as well. We've got, talks of Omicron, if that ever goes anywhere. We've got Evergrande, which defaulted on their bond payments over in China, $30 billion, I think it's $3 billion in bonds, but they've defaulted. The credit rating agencies have reported that. What that ripple effect of that $300 billion in Evergrande debt is going to do with the economy. You never really know. So voluntarily jumping your payments before Bank of Canada even has an opportunity to do that, to me, doesn't seem worthwhile for the cost associated. Really, if you look, I think the best trend is looking historically at 2008, coming out of the housing crisis there. It took them, if you look at that historic trend, it was once a quarter that they were increasing, and to increase it by 1% took them, I believe it was 2 years to increase that 1%, which you would then equal, and then you've got to increase it again further. So, it's best to, in my opinion, it's best to stay the course on variable, take advantage of those lower payments. You can also then, if you want or you're afraid of those higher payments and being saddled with them when prime goes up, well, switching to fixed is going to increase those payments anyway. So what you could do is leave your payment, your rate as a variable, and voluntarily increase your payments now. So figure out what the payment would be based on 2.79%, let's say. That's a going fixed rate on a conventional mortgage right now. Set your payment, even though you're 145, set your payment as if it's at 2.79. Increase your payment voluntarily. You're going to pay off. You're going to be paying what it's going to be if it goes up to that, and you're going to be hammering down your principal, saving a heck of a lot of interest. And then when prime does increase, you can then reduce your payment back, and you're not going to notice any hit. But the thought of locking in and voluntarily saddling yourself with that huge increase of payments and higher interest is, doesn't really seem, to make too much sense to do so. And really, it's just that historical trend that's best to look at. I don't know if Paul, I know that I went on a little ramble there, or tangent, but I know you get
I'm still here, everyone. I am still here.